Hello and welcome to this episode of Voices of Fostering. Today I'm joined by Fizza, who's one of our lovely foster carers. Hello, Fizza, welcome.
Hi, Helen. Nice to meet you.
Hi, you too. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. So I'm really keen to learn about your fostering journey because it's been over 10 years now, hasn't it, since you've been fostering? And you foster with your husband and your 3 birth children. So tell us about what it was that led you to fostering back in 2014.
Actually, I was completely unaware of the concept that exists in this country, that's fostering, because I came back from Pakistan. We stayed in Dubai for some time. It goes back very, very long ago when I was a teenager. Since then, I really wanted to do something for children, and had a bit of a rough bringing up, and there was nobody for us siblings.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a very good idea to do something for a single child. I was actually into adoption. But when I moved into this country, I gave birth to my other child, my middle child. Then I thought we are ready to adopt a child. And I called one of the agency, and I didn't know what fostering is actually, to be honest.
Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so the concept of fostering was quite new to you then. So,
yeah.
what was it like learning about that, and how did you learn and educate yourself on it?
So when I called the agency, they said I'm not ready for adoption at the moment because my baby was just born, and they said that actually you can do fostering. And that time I dusted off the concept because the baby was quite young, and I was into adoption, not fostering. But when we moved into this house, one of my neighbor, she was already a foster carer, so she introduced me to this, and she said, with one child you can only give a better future, warmth, love, safety to only one child by adoption. But with fostering, actually, you can look after so many children. They will take so much from your home, and that actually clicked me in my mind, and I
Yeah.
thought, yes, why not, we can do that. And back then I didn't even know that they pay an allowance for fostering. So we were all ready for adoption on our own, without any support of social workers or
Yeah.
anything like that. And children were really young. My children were young back then. Youngest was 2 year old. And since then, they have seen foster children coming in and out, and it's a norm for them now.
Yeah. So that moment then with you say it was your neighbour, I love it when I hear these stories of where people have been inspired by others. Like another story I had recently on the podcast was somebody was in the hairdressers and the person next to them in the hairdressers basically was the reason that they now foster because, they had a conversation and it sparked something in them. And for you, it was your neighbour. So can you remember, was it just one conversation or was it just like sort of build up of knowing that they fostered and that you were interested in it?
I think that's my personal perspective, that I think everybody's cut to do something in this world. So I think I was cut to be with children because I love children so much. I did not want to do 9 to 5 job because my children's would be affected, their time would be affected. So I fell in love with this concept of staying at home, looking after my own children while looking after other children as well,
Yeah.
and giving them which is already in abundance with me in my family. We can share, we love, we provide fun time for children. So it really, really clicked me. And I did not even give it a second thought, to be honest. The moment she told me, I said, yes, I'll jump in it.
Like,
This,
wow, that sounds amazing. That's for me. Sign me up.
yeah.
Brilliant. So you've had around 25 young people stay with you. Tell us about some of those young people because you've had teenagers, you've had asylum seekers, you've had parent and child as well. So tell us about some of those experiences.
Actually, every child brings so much new adventure to my life, and we learn so much from them. People usually say that they take from us, the children, when they leave. I say, actually, I take so much from them, and my family learned so much from them. I looked after some asylum seekers, as you mentioned, teenagers, children with mental health problems, children with confused sexuality, children from different religions, different ethnic backgrounds, mom and baby, and nothing can stop us doing this as a family. Even when I'm empty for a week, 2 week, 3 weeks, my children start saying, "Mom, what's happening? Where are the foster children? Why can't you tell them?" So they
The
are
house
also
is too quiet.
yes. And usually I was raised in a very noisy and big household. We were six siblings, and I really wanted to give my children that, but three is enough for me, birth children. And then this is my extended family, and I'm in touch with most of them. We text each other, they come visit me on their birthdays. We still are a family, no matter if they go away from me or they are far from me. That distance doesn't change anything.
Yeah. So your birth children, Fizza, are older now, aren't they? They're all in their late teens, really. But they were obviously quite young when you started fostering. What was that like for them to adjust to it?
I think if somebody wants to start fostering, I would suggest what worked for us as a family was we started really early, and they have not seen anything other than fostering. So the
Yeah.
moment they started getting sensible, and the biggest concept for fostering for them is because we are Muslim family, and I want to give this word out there that we are supposed to share everything, everything that we got there, love, care, attention with vulnerable children, vulnerable people in the society. So I wanted to educate my children this, that whatever we have is not only for us, it's always in abundance for other children as well. So it was difficult, it was a little bit challenging, but with their own needs, their school appointments, their health appointments. But then we have a very good support system, we have a extremely good social workers. They were always there for us. So it went smooth, I would say, pretty smooth. I would say there were challenges and ups and downs.
Yeah. What would you say some of the challenges maybe were in the beginning, let's say?
I think the first child we got, he was 17 and a half year old, young, white British from gypsy background. So that was completely new for us as a family when we started. Imagine, and they called us that it's a juvenile from somewhere, and we need to, if we can, look after. And it was around Christmas time. So I thought, we say that even if anybody has given that child a chance, it's not my family. We haven't given them a chance yet, so let's try it. And we worked, and it was the best thing ever, best thing ever. It was nervous, we were really nervous in the start, we were anxious. Like, imagine somebody else coming to your house who has been accused of something. You don't want strangers in your house, especially 17 and a half. How would you cope? What if they have some challenging behavior? How would you cope? So it was really, really difficult. But with positive mindset, with positive energy, we accepted the young person. He left with tears in his eyes. We were crying after 5 months. And that is one thing which really pushed us that we should be doing it.
I love the word that you used there. You accepted him. Do you think that is what a lot of children and young people who come into foster care need? They need to feel accepted.
That is very important. Even us as adults, everybody needs acceptance, everybody needs some kind of feeling of significance. So mostly these young children, they come from really rough backgrounds. Not Nobody would want that for any child, actually. But when you welcome them with open arms, no biased, when they come on the page, on the referral document, they might be different, they might be very challenging, it might scare you sometimes, but it's fine. I would say if you are welcoming them with open arms, they see that, they feel that energy, that they are being accepted, they are being welcomed, they are respected in this household, their opinion, their say matters. And that changes their experience and their mindset which they comes with, because this young person had so much bias, and he had so much stigma in his mindset for people from my cultural background or religious background. We changed in 5 months, like drastically, and I'm so happy that we were given this opportunity actually to bring that difference in his life.
Yeah. And I know about you, Fizza, that you are quite passionate about your parent and child experiences that you have of youngsters that come to live with you and they have a baby with them as well. Tell us about that and what that's like.
It's like mentoring actually a mother who is struggling with motherhood, because there could be many reasons behind it. Maybe failed relationship, abusive relationship, or maybe their own bringing up. in a family where mostly one of the parent has been absent or there have been domestic abuse. So when they come to my household, I proudly say that me and my husband, we have a very, very positive, strong relationship. He knows my value and I know his value. So what when they come here and they are so nervous, they are so scared because imagine being an adult living with another family with your baby.
Yeah. Well, I
It
was going
is
to say that, Fizzer, just so people understand. Is this sometimes young people who have had a baby, so they might be under 18, and then is it sometimes adults as well?
yes, yes. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's young people, maybe 16, 14,
Yeah.
15, under 18. So they are themselves children,
Yeah.
actually. Now imagine that having the responsibility of another person on you. So, and sometimes it's maybe 20, 30, sometimes 35 years old
Yeah.
adults who are dealing, who are finding it very difficult or who have some sort of learning disabilities or whose concept of relationship is really confused. So when they come to a stable household and then they observe how the two partners in the house work together, how they respect each other's opinions, how they help each other, how they support each other, then it really, really helps them to move on. I proudly can say I looked after mom and babies and they went back home together because
Yeah.
the worst thing would be separating mom and baby. And I really, really work uh, toward a structure where mom is learning so much and then she eventually in the end gets to go home with the baby. So that's a
Yeah.
really positive outcome for them.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely. And what's your support network like, Fizzer? Because obviously, you have the support of your fostering agency, but do you also have family and friends that support you? I understand your mother-in-law helps you as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the network that's around you?
Mm. It's everybody around me is so accepting. Again, I'm using that word because without this word we won't be able to go through any journey that we do. My friends are always there for me if I need them. My neighbors are there for me. Even my next door neighbor, he's always keeping an eye on our house. Anything, he see my foster child or my child and he says, oh, your young lad was there, I was watching him. So it's a very close knit community and my family is really, really supporting in this whole journey for me. When my family comes from Pakistan and they know I have a foster child, so they bring presents for them and they
Yeah,
ask me the age, the gender, so then the presents are tailored for them.
yeah,
Yes, I've always had support from my family. My children is my biggest strength. My mother-in-law, she lives with us for 6 months of the year, and then she goes back. And she has so much knowledge about fostering. She doesn't understand English, but she's so confident, and she will tell the
yeah,
child and make them feel like they are a part of her family as well, like one
yeah,
of their children. So it's
yeah.
really
And Fizzy, you talked earlier about that first young person who you had come and live with you and how that was quite a learning curve because he was from a completely different culture to you. And you learn a lot from him. Do you have experiences the other way around where people, young people and children come and live with you and they embrace your culture and they learn from your culture?
yes, it was so funny. I had once the same young man. I was praying, and when we pray, we just stand up like this, and then we look at the mat, and then we do still. We don't talk. We don't listen. We just it's like meditation. So one day he
Yeah.
came running upstairs. Now imagine 17 and a half. He came running upstairs and he looked at me and he was in shock and he was like, what's happening to her? Why is she seized? What has happened? Is she on some kind of like spell or something? And then once I did my finished my prayers and I said, what happened? And he was like, I was surprised. What happened to you for 3 minutes? You were silent. You were just doing movements. And what happened to you? And I'm like, so this is how it works.
Yeah.
This is how we do it. So yes, of course, as I learned their culture, any child who comes before, I always go through their ethnicity. I Google everything about their culture, their religion. So I'm always ready to accept whatever is coming to me with knowledge,
Yeah.
because without knowledge I didn't want them to feel like I'm not equipped enough to look
Yeah.
after them and their needs. So yeah, it is fun both ways. They
Yeah.
definitely learn from us as
Do
well.
you sometimes, though, have Muslim children come to live with you? Because I imagine it's quite important for them to, to be able to still experience their faith and be in a household that supports that.
Yes, definitely, definitely. We have lots. Asylum seeker young, because I speak Pashto, and
Yeah.
that is the language spoken in Afghanistan. Some
Okay.
of the areas of Afghanistan. So young asylum seeker from Afghanistan, when they come, I love looking after them because I know their culture, I know their background, I know their expectations, and I know exactly how to teach them to integrate in this society. Because otherwise they would be on the roads, they don't even know how to, what to do and how to do in this culture to be
Mhm.
accepted. So that is my favorite part to do, helping young asylum seeker
Yeah.
uh, from different backgrounds.
There's a lot in the media at the moment, Fizzer, isn't there, about asylum seekers? There's a lot of commentary about it. Can you tell us what it's like when you've had an asylum seeker come and live with you, and the experience they've had, and how they present, what their experience is like when they arrive with you?
Oh my god, they look like teenagers, but inside they're like scared little children. uh, all of them whom I looked after, they were really fragile, scared, they don't know what to do because they come from such a difficult journey, 11 countries by foot, snow, water, river, and they see death so much on their way. Their friends, their siblings passed away all the way, and they have seen people drowning in water. They tell me their stories, and that just breaks my heart, that these are the genuine people who come, like especially young asylum seeker children. I'm not sure about adults, but you, I always look after children, so I can only speak on their behalf.
Mhm.
And when they see a home, a roof, warm meal, warm behavior of people towards them, that changes everything in their life. And then you can see the gratefulness in their eyes, and how appreciative they are of the fact that they came to a country where the religion is not theirs, where the culture is not theirs, but they are accepted, they are welcomed with both hands open. So um, I would want more and more people to look after asylum seeker, young asylum seeker, because it's very scary. To be honest, it is scary. You don't know who they are. You don't know what their background was. When the referral comes, it just says young asylum seeker. There is no background. There is no history. We don't know anything about them. So it is very scary to let any stranger in your house. But again, once they come in, once you see how little in their heart they are little children, they are not like scary big men or boys or girls. So yeah, it helps actually. It helps understand them.
What would you say, Fizzer, is the number one quality that somebody needs to be a foster carer? What do you need within you?
I think you need the compassion and empathy. These are the two things, and you should never take anything personal. These children will come, they will throw things at you that you did not cause, that did not happen because of you, but uh, it is their trauma. It's not towards you, it's not for you, but their behavior. If you being um, unbiased and just give them 100% a chance, they might swear at you, there might be challenging behavior, there might be other issues from streets. Never ever take it as they are doing it to you as an insult. So don't take things personal, be compassionate, be have lots of empathy, and that will help you go through from start till end of your journey with that young person.
And when you show that compassion and empathy to a child or young person who's in foster care, what does it mean to them?
It means the world to them. Now imagine they've been rejected. They have seen rejection, abuse, hatred, sometimes physical sexual abuse, sometimes harassment, sometimes neglect. Now imagine they have seen that all their life. And then when they come to your house, sometimes they find it very difficult and they would push you. They would not accept it. They would make it challenging for you. They will, because their brain is trained in a way that they say that's not possible. How can this person be kind to me without a purpose? So there must be some agenda. They will reject it. So just be ready for all the outcomes. Not every child is going to accept the hug or the way you welcome them. They might resent it. So for them to settle down, for them to learn about you, for them to be at ease at your home and learn about your ways of family, I think all you need to be very patient, because not every child is going to accept it straight away. Sometime it will take weeks, sometime it will take months, but you need to be persistent. Don't feel hopeless that, oh, I'm doing so much for this child and look at that, um, you know thankless person. No, 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 it's not against you. Again, then here comes the don't take anything personal, because it's not about you. It's they have seen it so much in their life, from their own birth parents, from their own families, that for them to get their head around it, that how can a stranger be so kind to me while my own birth parents hasn't been, or other reasons. So just be persistent and don't take anything personal.
Fizza, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today, and I feel like I've learned so much from you. It's just incredible to listen to you. So thank you so much, and best of luck as you continue on your fostering journey.
I have one quote, Helen. I would want to share it with you. It's not a quote. It's a young person remarks once they left from my
Yeah.
home. It was a 16-year-old young white English boy. When he left, he sent me a text and he said, Fiza, everything in your home was warm. You, your food, the bed, and the whole house was warm. Now I moved out and everything here is cold. The food, the bed, the warmth, and the love. So he moved on, and he moved on to some of his further family. And that hit me so hard that it was it was sad actually. Uh, he said we only eat frozen food from the freezer. They don't turn the heating on. So it's not always a happy ending. When they move out, they will be happy. It would be giving them a chance to stand up on their 2 feet. That comparison hit me so hard that he took that from us, and it made at least some difference in his life for some time.
Yeah. And if you can be that warmth for a child, then what an incredible thing to be able to do.
Exactly, Helen.
Well, I think that's a perfect point to leave it on. Thank you so much, Fizza, and take care and continue to spread that warmth.
Thank you so much, Helen, for giving me this opportunity where somebody might hear my words and it might help them make a decision and come towards fostering and help children.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Voices of Fostering. If you'd like to find out more, head online and search National Fostering Group and make this the year you foster.